This is Mr. Shores.
How you doing?
He's going to give us a little walk and talk through about the
walk and talk. Hey, what this is? Well, it's an inline, 8-cylinder Caterpillar engine. It's a 3608, at 3,487 horsepower. And its job is to turn that generator down there. And that generator turns, makes electricity, kind of like your alternator on your car. This is 2,500 kW.
Cool. Come on in.
And it runs at 900 RPMs.
Now let's see.
Self-sufficient.
So it's a pretty big space, huh?
Pretty big space. Yeah.
Got an enclosure in here.
Got an enclosure. We have 5 of them on board. This is number 3. This one's been rebuilt about 1.5 years ago.
White bearings, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
What happens when you get fuel and oil? It doesn't like to lubricate.
Okay. Let's see. What are these little round things along the side of the engine?
These little round things right here, we call them explosion covers. There's your crankcase inside here, so if you get a pressure inside your crankcase, what happens, you got a spring inside here that opens that allows all that pressure to release. So then we have a crankcase explosion.
Hopefully we'll never have one of those.
This right here is a dipstick, just like what you have on your car. A little bit longer, a little bit blacker oil.
It's a high detergent oil.
Very high detergent oil. It's called 9250. Same thing as 30 weight in the civilian world. These are our fuel filters. We have 2. So if this side gets dirty, I flip this lever right here and it'll shift it.
Cool. What are them yellow things right there?
These are starters. We have 2 air starters. Most cars use electricity, or all cars use electricity, but we use air. The 205 psi air comes through these lines, meshes right in here, meshes with the flywheel, starts the diesel, just like you start your car.
What's this cable right here?
This cable right here is for our emergency shutdown. We have our turbocharger right here. The air comes in, so if we have to emergency shut the engine down, I can do that. See how this flipped up?
Yep.
It shuts all the air off going to the engine. So if you don't have air, the engine's not going to run.
That kind of, if you got an engine that's running away, then that's what you use?
The engine's running away, or if it won't die, or we have some kind of emergency casualty, we have to shut it down quick.
Oh, okay.
That's the quickest way you can shut it down.
Cool. Free lube pumps.
This is our generator. This big thing is what produces all the electricity.
Made in Minnesota, Dad.
And you can tell them more about that than I can.
That's a Cato.
That's Cato like that.
2,500 kW, 4,009 amps. Can light up a few homes. If you ran it max.
3-phase, 60 hertz, 0.08 power factor.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, you got some of them facts okay.
Oh yeah.
That's our little attached lube oil pump just for the generator. That motor right there is kind of like what they have on the diesel. They got an air on the left and electric on the right. And what that does is it pumps oil through the bearings so that anytime the engine has to start up, it's ready for go. They cool it with seawater for air as they circulate it through the box and the generator windings. What else they got in here? All sorts of neat things. Now we're coming back over to the diesel. We're going on the other side. That's another view of the turbocharger. Let's see, that's
One on the left intake and one on the right's exhaust.
there you go. And that little tube that's sticking in there, it's for air impingement. What happens if you get a heavy load or emergency startup, they kick in some HPR?
HPR, or initial startup.
For initial startup to spin up the turbo so it won't sit there and starve for air, basically.
Correct. Okay, this right here is our governor. It's kind of like your carburetor in your car. This is how we control the engine, either electrically or mechanically. We have the speed setting, speed group, and the fuel. I can turn this all the way down to minimum fuel, and it's not going to start. So it receives an electrical signal, and this tells the engine what to do, whether to speed up, slow down, whatever.
Okay. Got some more explosion-proof covers over here.
All right, more explosion covers.
So these are the actual cylinder heads right here?
These are the actual cylinder heads right here.
Okay.
Okay, these right here are your fuel lines. Right here, I got a fuel gather. This is inlet, this is return. Your fuel comes in, goes through your injector, and all the fuel that's not burned comes back through your return line, goes back to the service tank.
Oh, so it constantly recirculates then.
That's correct.
All right.
Before it goes to it, you're standing right now on top of the fuel cooler underneath the deck plate there.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be pulling up deck plates today.
No, I'm not pulling up deck plates.
Okay. Let's see what else we got in here. What's this round thing right here?
This right here is our keep warm system. I don't know if you can hear it on there, but it is running. And when the engine's not running, we keep oil circulated through there, and we have to have some way to heat the oil. So we heat the oil by heating the jacket water, which just like fresh water in your car with treated antifreeze, and that water heats the block and heats the oil.
Wow, could use that in Minnesota. What's all these yellow wires?
All these yellow wires, this is how we take our local exhaust temperature. Around the back there, they're connected to a thermocouple. Thermocouple is made out of two dissimilar metals. It sends an electrical signal. Then we hook up a fluke to it, and then that's how we get our exhaust temperature.
Okay, cool.
These things right here are blowdown caps. This is how we take firing pressures and compression pressures. I have a cleaning indicator that I'll hook up to here, and then I'll open this valve, and this valve goes right down to the top of the cylinder.
So you do this while the engine's running?
That is correct. We do firing pressures when it's running, compression pressures when it's shut down.
Wow.
So it gets pretty hot in here.
I bet.
When we do it.
Get kind of smelly too?
Yeah, little exhaust fumes.
Okay, cool. What else we got over here?
We have a couple Detroit switches. This is for our lube oil pressure alarms. We have one for high speed and one for low speed.
Okay.
So if we run out of lube oil pressure, it automatically shuts the engine down.
Alrighty. This yellow thing right here is what, a water pump?
This right here is our jacket water pump.
Okay.
Just like the water pump on your car, except ours, we have two of them and it's a little bit bigger. It just circulates water throughout the engine.
Okay.
It's a Sherco gear-driven pump.
Now you're talking about lube oil and pressures and stuff like that. Where are the filters at for this thing?
The filter's going to be right here.
Up here?
Right inside that big tower right there, there's 8 lube oil filters standing about 2 foot apiece.
Oh, okay.
About 6 inches in diameter.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Okay, and this is a relief valve down here, I take it.
That's correct.
All right.
In case our filters get clogged, it'll relieve all the oil.
Cool. Anything else you can tell us about this thing, or that looks like you're pretty thorough today?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got that's our lube oil cooler. It's cooled by jacket water. All right, well, after it gets done with here, I can take you outside and show you the jacket water cooler.
Ooh.
The salt water cools our jacket water, and jacket water cools our lube oil.
Okay.
There's 4 of these on board?
What's that?
4 of
5.
these?
5.
5 of these engines?
5 of these engines on board. we can power this whole ship with just one engine, but we're not going to do that.
Might trip something off the line.
Yeah, it might.
Oh, hang on.